Ever since I first started playing it, I've always said Last Epoch is a game that improves with every patch, and Eternal Legends is no exception to this. On top of a bunch of quality of life changes, new skills, new items, buffs, and a few nerfs, the game's adding several major features, the first of which is the Temporal sanctum, a dungeon. Dungeons are another endgame system that exists alongside monoliths and will hopefully end up breaking up the monotony of the grind just a little bit. They've also said that they're going to be using a time shift mechanic, which I think is pretty cool. The time shift mechanic felt like a little bit of a leveling gimmick the way it was used so far in Last Epoch, so it'll be nice to see how they leverage it to maybe make the dungeon experience a little more non-linear than what you'd get in a traditional action RPG. The Temporal Sanctum also gives you access to one of the most exciting new features, and the one that I'm personally happiest to see, the Eternity Cache. This allows you to fuse your unique items with exalted rares to form powerful legendaries. In combination with the crafting rework, this goes a long way to give players projects to min-max their character. It also makes a lot of the uniques in the game far more useful. There's going to be a bias towards higher legendary potential on weaker unique items, or at least the more common ones, which should also mean it'll be easier to get a build-enabling item up to snuff. If you want to know more about my thoughts on the crafting system, I made a video about that recently, which will be in the card and down in the description below. Unfortunately, when Eternal Legends launches, I'm going to be busy covering the Path of Exile events, and I don't want to jump into Last Epoch and just rush my way through to the endgame and rush through all the systems as fast as possible. It feels like the crafting changes and the new legendary items are going to be a great way to round out the endgame experience. Dungeons are going to be fun and hopefully give you something to do that isn't a monolith, and overall the game seems to be going a long way to prepare for the multiplayer patch. If you haven't played Last Epoch yet, I expect this to provide the best and most well-rounded experience yet, especially if you're into building around lots of different items, as with the legendary system, there's so many uniques that in the past weren't so great that can now be made into build-enabling legendaries. So if you're looking to get into Last Epoch for the first time, you can purchase it through my Nexus page and you'll be supporting me while you do so. Also, starting today when this video goes live and running through till Monday, the game is going to be on sale, so you'll be able to save a little bit off the $35 box price. But even if you find this video a week late and it's no longer on sale, the game is absolutely worth the $35. I've gotten hundreds of hours out of it and it's not even out of beta. Eternal Legends also brings a rework to the Druid class, which was one of the oldest, clunkiest, and most outdated classes in Last Epoch. Which should be great, as long as you don't mind being judged for being a furry. It should make the class feel a lot smoother, play a lot better, and overall be a lot stronger. If you want to know about more Druid builds for the new patch, my friend Epoch Builds recently released a video where he theory crafted several, but you're still a furry. There are also 60 new uniques, or as I'd like to think of them, 60 new potential legendary items, along with some reworks, buffs, and nerfs to existing items and set pieces. There's one thing I want to highlight that's slightly unrelated to Last Epoch itself, and that is how they've laid out the patch notes. I really wish that Grinding Gear Games, or most companies in general, would lay out patch notes in this way. The flow of information is broken up really nicely by some graphics and pictures of the items involved. Oftentimes when I'm reading over Path of Exile patch notes, I have to have one or two other tabs open to look at the items themselves from Reddit posts or tweets. It'd be really nice to have the items just embedded as an image in the patch notes themselves so I could refer to them and read them immediately while also seeing what they do in plain text to hopefully make it a little bit more searchable and give an explanation where needed. So good job to EHG on having the amazing patch note layout, and I quite like the new main theme for Last Epoch. They suggested that you listen to it while reading through the patch notes, but hopefully you can also appreciate it while listening to this video. With multiplayer soon to arrive, I'm very excited for the future of Last Epoch. My favorite part is going to be that I no longer have to slog through all the normal monoliths on every character that I make. Having some form of permanent progression system is going to make it a lot easier to justify alts. The new crafting system also makes it easier to gear those alts once I have them, and let me min-max any character that I really like and want to play and push corruption to the absolute limit. I'm excited to see what sort of economy forms in Last Epoch when multiplayer drops, and what the impact of dungeons and legendaries on builds will be. If you want to wait until multiplayer to try Last Epoch, I can't blame you. But even if you hop in now, you'll absolutely get your money's worth. I've already reached level 100, experimented with several builds, and like I said before, played for hundreds of hours. With a new legendary system, I'm excited to try many more builds that weren't possible before or might have been a little bit too weak. But what about you? Will you be trying Last Epoch with the release of Eternal Legends? Are you going to hold off for multiplayer? Or do you already play the game? And if so, what item are you most excited to turn into a legendary? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. And again, a special thanks to my patrons and YouTube channel members. If you want to support me, you can do so by clicking the links down in the description below or on screen right now. You can also support by making purchases through my Nexus page. Or if you just want to chill and hang out, be sure to join the Discord. Again, links for everything are down in the description below. Thank you, and have a great day.